Zero and the Search for Effective Zen. Episode 30. What constitutes an enlightened teacher? You ever met someone who claims to have studied Zen for years and years, and yet goes on and on about so-and-so? Yeah. Him. So today, we're cracking open one of the most sacred, slippery, and straight-up misunderstood ideas in Buddhism. What actually makes someone an enlightened teacher? Spoiler, it's not the robes, or the Instagram quotes, or the obligatory smile. Let's rewind. Over the last several episodes, we've been on a journey, trying to figure out what conditions need to be in place for Buddhism to even get off the ground. We referred to this set of conditions as Zero-Buddhism. And we recognize that fundamentally, three things are needed. First, a clear picture of the ultimate goal of Buddhism, namely, the realization of infinite mind. Second, a clear picture of the path to get there. Finally, an understanding of the obstacles expected along the way. And last time we investigated whether we can realistically reach a destination if we don't know what it looks like. And we concluded that it's not very likely. Non-duality, infinite mind, essence of mind, Buddha nature. All of the phrases that make the goal sound so desirable. But how can we ever know if we reached it? So maybe, just maybe, we need the help of someone who has reached it. We need the help of an enlightened teacher. So we must now ask, what constitutes an enlightened teacher? Let's park enlightened for a sec and just ask, what makes a teacher a teacher? Here's where things get weird, in a good way. According to the Zen master Joshu Sasaki, Buddhism is not an object, and if that's true, then we can assume that a teacher is not an object either. And if a teacher isn't an object, then it must be an activity. Boom. Recall that we covered the notion of activity pretty extensively in episodes 4, 5, and 6. So here, let's do a quick review. Sasaki laid it out with 17 words that might be either cosmic wisdom or the most confusing fortune cookie ever written. Zero inevitably splits into two naturally opposing activities, expansion and contraction, which inevitably disappear back into zero. And passing these 17 words, we can extract the 5 fundamental characteristics common to every manner of activity. First, all activity arises from zero. No, not the number, but a shorthand for something we might think of as requisite conditions. The stack of logs beside the fireplace, the orchestra warming up for the symphony, the stadium filled with fans before the big game. No logs, no fire, no orchestra, no symphony, no stadium packed with excited fans, no big game. Second, every activity is necessarily temporary. Given the right conditions, every activity will surely arise. And just as surely, it'll disappear. Every fire goes out. Every symphony ends, just like that. Every big game picks a winner. Third, the end of one activity sets up the next. Ashes become the soil, which will ultimately be the source of the next twigs and logs. and fire. Activities never really end. They just transform. From zero activity to manifested activity and back. Again and again and again. Fourth, every activity carries the seed of its own undoing. The fire inevitably consumes the logs that sustain it. The orchestra plays the fixed number of notes beginning to end, and the big game progresses minute by minute. And finally, for every activity, there must be the spark that puts it in motion. The striking of the match, the tap of the baton, the flip of the coin. And so, what makes a teacher? What makes a teaching activity? Starting at the top of our list of the 5 characteristics common to all activities, we know that the teaching activity must arise from zero. Namely, a confluence of required conditions, where any missing condition means that the teaching activity cannot arise. Period. So now we're ready to ask, what are those conditions? What needs to be in place for the teaching activity to actually arise? Think on it. Because next time, we're going there. And so, the question for the next episode. What conditions are necessary for the teaching activity to arise?